So now let us look at, now that we have done the exercise of how our body responds to the stressful situations that we are in, let us look at 6 ways how to deal with stress and how to lead a stress-free life. First one is to learn to switch on and off. We are going to go in details with each one of them. First, let us cover the 6 and then we'll go into the details. So first one is to switch on and off. Learn how to switch on and switch off. Second is the exercise that we do. Learn to listen to your body signals. Critical. Third, quality of sleep. Fourth, I'm going to talk something about disease. What is disease? Understand that secret of life is in moderation. What does moderation mean? And finally, what is the cat's syndrome? Let's look at each one of them in details. So learn how to switch on and switch off. If you look at the type A personality, this person finds it extremely difficult to switch. He can get switch on very fast, but switch off is extremely difficult because his ego, his personality type, his drive to want to achieve, to accomplish more, to want to win at all cost does not allow him to switch off, and that's why he moves into breakdown. The type C, they get switched on very fast, or they are not aware of it, that they have switched on because they internalize everything, so it takes a long time to process it, and they are totally unaware, they're not present to where to switch off, and that's why they go into the breakdown mode. If you understand the tipping point, if you understand your tipping point and you learn to keep yourself in the yellow zone, the yellow zone is the eustress, the optimum stress, which is required for us to perform. Without stress, we don't perform. That's why some amount of stress is required. Before exams, we experience the stress, right? But if you are not able to identify your tipping point in the stress curve, then it becomes a challenge. That tipping point is what is I call switch on and switch off. So let's friends try to discover what is this switch on and switch off points in us, and you will be able to handle your stress much more effectively. Are you getting what I'm saying? The switch on and switch off. So imagine that there are switches like that inside of you. Every time you should be able to on it and off it by yourself and not be driven by the external factors, not the external triggers. This control must be in your hands. Try to identify that switch and learn how to control this. Second one is to listen to your body signals. We have done an entire exercise on how your body responds to the various situations. So we're not going to go too much details into this, but this is a critical thing for you to manage stress. You might have heard or read many times that people die running a marathon, or somebody collapsed at the end or the fag end of the marathon, or at the race finish line. Friends, let me tell you, no one ever dies because of running. I myself am a marathon runner, so I know what I'm talking about. People don't understand the body signals. The body gives you, marathon running is you're putting heavy stress on your body. You're not used to running, you're not an athlete, or at least if you haven't trained enough, then and whether you're trained, you're just putting your body onto stress. Definitely. Even the athlete's body goes through a stress, but they know how to manage it. They have trained for it. So people who don't understand to what are their body, the body starts telling your boss, take care of me, I'm going into stress overdrive. And those people who don't listen to their body signals will land up in burnout. That's what really happens. Running doesn't cause death, for sure. It's not willing to listen to your body signals. So many times I've stopped listening to music because of that. I do use it on and off so that I can distract my mind, but I don't listen to music completely. Instead of that, I focus on how my body is feeling. For me, running is meditation, and when I'm meditating, actually, when I'm running, that means I'm inside my body trying to figure out which muscle, where is it paining, where is it not paining, so that I can manage that and complete my marathon. So, friends, this is an important. We have completed that entire exercise, so you understand how to listen to your body signals. Second way of how you can manage stress so that you can be living a stress-free life. There are so many other body signals that we have: tightness, cramping, clenching of teeth, spasms, perspiration, twitching, notching, change of breath. So there are so many different types in which the body tells you that, my dear friend, I am in stressful situation, take care of me. So learn to listen to your body signals to control and live a stress-free life. Let's look at quality of sleep. Some people sleep very less. When do you sleep very less? When you start worrying, when there are too many thoughts in your mind. That's when you won't get sleep. And there are people who sleep overtly. Too much of sleep is a sign of fatigue. Both not good. Less sleep or too much of sleep. What happens is, when you don't sleep enough, when you don't get good sleep, good sound sleep is what I'm talking about. There are many gadgets nowadays that can measure your sleep. There are watches which can measure your sleep. You can wear and actually find out how you can manage the sleep rhythm. But it is important for you to get good sound sleep, because when you don't get good sound sleep, what you are doing to your body is you are reducing your immune system, and thereby you are susceptible to infections and disease. It is critical for you to get good sleep. Now the question is, what is good sleep? How much do you think is good for a human being? Now it depends on body type to body type, so it really doesn't know. It depends on your lifestyle. However, it's not a thumb rule, but anywhere between 6 to 8 hours, if you get good quality sleep, that will be sufficient. I sleep for 6.5 hours. So you find out what is your good quality sleep timing, what is the quantity of sleep, quality of sleep, and focus on getting good quality sleep, so that in the morning you're fresh and alive and you can go through the grind of the next day. Quality sleep is important in handling stress. Now, what is disease? This is an important topic, very different. I'm going to make a very bold statement. There are no diseases in life. The word disease can be spelt as dis-ease. That means anything that makes me uneasy is a disease, right? So what makes me uneasy? What is the starting point of this uneasiness? It's the thought. So thought makes me uneasy. Okay, and let's look at the thought and disease connection, right? So it is said that 85% of our diseases are psychosomatic. There are many times you heard about the placebo effect. The doctor gives a sugar pill and the patient responds so beautifully to that, thinking that it is medicine, but it's simple sugar pill that he has given. It is clear enough an indication that if we control our thinking, we can control the diseases. Okay. There is a book called You Can Heal Your Life by Louis Hay. This has been a Bible for me in my life. I was into professional healing, and this book talks about that the starting point of any disease is with a single thought. Now, when we keep on repeating this thought again and again and again, because we are fundamentally, you understand Pavlov's dogs, our behavior is coming out from stimulus response. So there is a stimulus in your external environment and you react to that, and it becomes a habit. And slowly what happens is that, see, if I tell you that you are like a cup and you keep on pouring these responses and it starts filling inside your cup. When the cup comes right up to the brim, till then you won't notice all these things. But when it starts overflowing, when the cup starts overflowing, that's when the disease actually falls and manifests physically into your life. If you go to a doctor when you are in pain, he gives you a pill. What is he treating? He's treating the symptoms and not the cause. In this topic, this disease topic, this slide that I am talking about, we are talking about what is the cause of the matter, which is a thought. That means if you can change your thought, the symptoms will disappear and the disease will disappear. This book has great, amazing things, and just at looking at the disease, you can identify what the kind of thought pattern that person will be having. 100%. Whether it is common cold or whether it is diseases like cancer and ulcer and whatnot. It has been my Bible of healing. Please go and read this book. You will be able to handle stress and your life in a much more better way. I have suffered tennis elbow twice in my life. Now, according to this book, tennis elbow happens because whenever I'm in a crossroad, I'm unable to make a choice whether I should take this path or whether I should take this path. And the more dilemma that I am in, the strong the feeling is, it will result into what is called a tennis elbow. And why tennis elbow? Now, question for you friends, how do you show your, when you ask somebody and you show directions, how do you show? You show it by pointing, right? And this pointing, the fulcrum is at your elbow, okay, and not your shoulder. You get that? When you point through the main issue is the elbow, and that's why when you are at a crossroad, when you are having two thoughts and they are strong enough, you might land up in a tennis elbow. It obviously depends on the intensity and the gravity of the situation. First time when it happened, I went to the doctor. He injected something in my elbow. I asked him, what are you injecting? He said, steroids. From that moment onwards, I said, no steroids. I, with the help of my Reiki master and my various practices, have come out of tennis elbow twice without taking any medicine. Let me warn you friends, that I don't torture my body. When I feel that I need to take medicines, I do take medicines. But however, I avoid going to the doctors as much as possible. So I am not suggesting that you should not take medicines. This is a complementary factor. You can heal yourself much faster. When you need medicines, please go and take medicines. Okay? However, it doesn't change the fact that if you eliminate the cause, the symptoms are bound to disappear. There are people who have come out of cancer. There are people who have come out of eczema. There are people who have come out of various different things. So take care, read this book. Read this book. You Can Heal Your Life by Louis Hay. That's the title. Awesome. Let's go to the next topic. A lot depends on how we treat life. The secret of life is in moderation. What do I mean by moderation? So let us take a pendulum. The pendulum swings from point A to point C and goes back to point A, again back to C, then to back A. How does this relate to our mind? Our mind is also like a pendulum. Let's take a person who wants to learn to be assertive. Typically, we start with submissiveness. At least for this example, let's take up a person who's extremely submissive. He doesn't know how to handle aggressive people, and he's submissive, and the pressure starts building up. Once the pressure becomes so high that the pressure cooker is going to burst, and it bursts, the submissive person moves from point A directly and becomes a very, very aggressive person. I'm sure you have experienced this. Reverse though is not all that true, but submissive to aggressiveness. Have you all noticed, friends, that both submission and aggression both don't work? So really, what is it that I am talking? If I am neither submissive nor aggressive, only then can I be assertive. Assertive is taking a stand for what I think is real without making the other person right or wrong. Now this is an art that you have to develop. The middle path is an art. How can I develop that? I don't have to be a submissive, I don't have to be aggressive. Once I give up being submissive and aggressive at the same time, the only choice left is to be assertive. So remember, you take up anything, whether it is submissive aggressiveness. Let's take sadness and happiness. Sadness definitely doesn't work in life. But what about happiness? Do you think so extreme happiness is a balanced way of living? Have you all noticed, have you all noted, have you all heard that people who suddenly get a lottery of $100 million, they die of shock? Extreme happiness is not a balanced. The middle line is called balance, and moderation helps you to live a balanced life. The type B people know how to moderate in life. They know the art of moderation. They know the art of assertion. They don't get carried away by the extreme behaviors, and they live life. And one tool for being in control, in balance, is obviously meditation, because I am a meditation. You might find out ways and means how you can keep yourself in balance. You will have to train yourself. It's not very simple, but it is not impossible either, right? So let's understand that the secret of life is in moderation. What is the cat syndrome? Caffeine, alcohol, cigarettes, or tobacco? Sorry. Caffeine, alcohol, sorry. So what's the cat syndrome? Caffeine, alcohol, tobacco, and sugar. 4 dangerous things in our life. Now it is a myth that people live in, because I have been a coffee addict, I have been a cigarette smoker, that all these 4 things are usually to reduce stress. It's actually the reverse. They kill your immune system. I have been that at one point of time, 20 years back, I was a smoker, a chain smoker. I used to smoke 30 cigarettes a day. So I know what I'm talking about. I used to drink 7 to 8 cups of black coffee every day. And I know how horrible it was for me to get up in the morning, and I used to have bad feeling in my stomach. My bowels were not clean. If I went running or if I went That time I did not run, but I used to exercise that time, and every time I used to get this churning feeling, the burning sensation in my stomach. Whether it is alcohol, see, everything in a small quantity is a stimulant. Whether it is caffeine, alcohol, I am not sure about nicotine to a certain extent, and sugar. But honestly, the best thing is to let go all four of them. Your body will become a temple if you let go coffee, alcohol, tobacco, and sugar, processed sugar. I hope you understood the importance of letting go these myths around caffeine, alcohol, tobacco, and sugar, that they are good for health. They are not. Ask people who have gone through the trauma of each one of them. And in excess, so anyway, everything is bad. So my recommendation, give up. Give up all the cats in your life. Now, not the literal cats, but the cat that we are talking about. To live a stress-free and a very healthy life. Finally, let us look at what did you do in the last 3 days. We're going to take a small little test. Did you do each one of them? I'm going to ask 2 out of 3 times. I'm saying 2 out of 3 days, but let's call it 2 out of 3 times. Right? Did you eat vegetables 2 out of 3 times? In the last 3 days, how many meals have you had? How much of vegetables did you have? It has been scientifically proven that eating meat is not good for your health. So my recommendation is that first give up the 4-legged animals, then give up the 2-legged animals meat, then give up the no-legged animals meat. Of course, I'm not forcing you, it's by choice. If you can make that as your choice, your performance will improve 100%. And it has been anyway proven scientifically. So go and search for journals. I think so there is a movie on this. I don't remember the name of the movie. It's on Netflix, where they have studied athletes and they have changed from eating meat protein to plant protein. That's the change that they have made. And I'm talking of Olympic level athletes. So it's not an unproven thing, it's a proven thing. Have lots of vegetables in life. Did you have it 2 out of the 3 meals that you had? Did you exercise? Did you have good amount of activity 2 out of the 3 times? What is the activity level that you are going through? Do you exercise on a regular basis? Did you do something good for yourself in this 2 out of 3 times? 3 opportunities had. Did you do something good for yourself? Did you feel good after doing that? Check out. Did you laugh your heart out and let things go? Lighten up in your life 2 out of 3 times. Did you hug someone? And if you couldn't hug someone, did you speak to someone? Is there a support system for you to let go your stress, either by hugging someone? Hugging is the best way. Some cultures don't allow it, so perfectly fine. Do you have a relationship where you can speak out your stress? Speaking out is an important way of letting go your stress. So do you have that kind of a structure where you can let out your stress 2 out of the 3 times? How many times were you hassled in the last 3 days? Find out. How many times have you led by anger, being aggressive? How many times did you relax? How many things do you think so? We think positively or negatively? On a scale of 0 to 10, if 0 is less and 10 is positive, where do you think your thoughts are? Out of the 10 thoughts, how many are positive, how many are negative? I'm sure, guys, you will not dispute that we think more. We can easily think more negatively than positively. And finally, Did you do something good for someone else? Not only to yourself, did you do something good for someone else? Now, for every time you did it, give yourself 1 point, and you did not do it, give yourself 0 points and add up. If you are at 2, 3, do something, danger zone. If you are at 9, 10, guess what? You are a superhuman, Superman, Batman, God knows. Okay? Ideally, 6 to 8 is a great answer. It just tells you how am I living my life. In the last 3 days, it will give you an idea as to how stressed or you're not stressed. Great. So friends, we've spoken about so many things. We've spoken about the stress curve, the tipping point in the stress curve, how to handle that. We've spoken about understanding body signals. We've spoken about power of the power of moderation. We spoke about disease and how do I deal. I gave you a powerful book on that, how to heal your life. Read it, eliminate things right at the causal level and not just the symptomatic level. And if you use all the 6 tips that I have given you in this module, you are bound to live a stress-free life. So use them, be stress-free, and see you at the top. See you in your dream leadership role. Thank you.